All right, a little swig of my vodka here.
Oh, you bastard.
Yeah, I've been working on this bottle here, this Nova Terra. It's organic vodka. Ruthie got it from me, my wife. She got it from me over at Sprouts a few months ago. So I've been slowly polishing it off. So
What?
yeah, dude, fucking vodka or freaking whiskey. It's one or the other for me, man.
Oh, man, now you're talking. See, I should have grabbed something.
Hey, if you still got time, you want, go for it.
I just texted my wife. I just told her, hey, he's drinking, so bring me a drink.
Right on, man. Before we dive in, make sure to stay connected by following us on Instagram at Chat62Podcast. If you're enjoying the show, we really appreciate a 5-star rating and a follow on your favorite platform. Got questions, stories to share, or want to be a guest? We'd love to hear from you. Reach out to Eric Monarca, our creative media producer, at monarca@chat62podcast.com. Martin Almanza, our digital content strategist at almanza@chat62podcast.com. Ruth Monarca, our content and outreach coordinator at ruth@chat62podcast.com. Or connect with Kevin Lopez, our unofficial guide for VA disability filings at lopez@chat62podcast.com. Today's guest is a definition of dedication and service. He's a career Marine, a retired gunnery sergeant, a veteran of the Iraq War, and now continues to serve in law enforcement. But beyond the rank and the deployments, this man is a brother. He was one of my very first roommates at 5th Marines in the 62 area. We got plenty of stories to unpack. Stories of service, sacrifice, and lessons learned along the way. Gunnery Sergeant Moon, welcome to Chat 62.
Thanks, brother. Good to be here.
All right, man. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go ahead and throw the Marine Corps quiz at you. Are you ready?
Whoa.
All right, dude. I'm going to throw a sample question at you. These are pretty easy questions. It looks like to me 2 of them are multiple choice and 1 is just a straight answer. They're pretty simple. Nothing hard from like a staff NCO course or anything like that. So, sample question. The mission of the Marine Rifle Squad. The mission of the Marine Rifle Squad, every Marine, regardless of trade, is a rifleman first and should know this mission by heart, is to locate, close with, and destroy the enemy by fire and maneuver and repel the enemy assault by fire and close combat. Is that true or false?
True.
Yes, sir, you are correct. Every Marine, regardless of trade, is a rifleman first and should know this mission by heart. Okay, your first question. Multiple choice. I commanded the assault and the capture of the fortress of Derna, at Derna, Tripoli, in 1805. I was presented with what would become the famous Marine Corps officer sword. Who am I? First option, Smedley Butler. Second option, Archibald Henderson. Third option, Lieutenant Presley O'Bannon. Fourth option, John A. Lejeune.
Shit. Presley O'Bannon?
Yes, sir, you are correct.
Yeah.
All right, the Mameluke sword is
The Mameluke sword. Exactly.
is still carried by Marine officers. Yes, sir. Number 2, who is or was the 34th Commandant of the Marine Corps? First option, General Pace. Second option, General Hagee. Third option, General Conway. Or fourth option, General Chuck Krulak.
Kulak.
Oh, man.
Eggy. Conway.
Conway.
Shit. Process of elimination, man.
A third time was a charm, man. General Conway became the 34th Commandant in November 2006. All right, and third and final question.
That was during my time.
All right,
Shit.
and this is just a straight answer. So, the Battle of Belleau Wood was a major Marine battle in World War I that took place in what country?
France.
Yes, France. The Marines received their nickname Devil Dogs as a result of the fierce fighting during this battle. So, yeah, dude, you got with the sample question included, you got 3 out of 3.
Wait. Dude, so Kulak was our general when we were first in.
Right.
And then did you remember Hagee was actually the base general for 1st Marine Division? Did you remember that?
That name sound familiar.
Yeah.
It did sound
the base
familiar.
general.
Wow.
for First Marines when we were there. And I remember going to, the reason why I remember this is because I remember 5th Marines sending me to a pass and review for Hagee once he took over command of First Marines.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Fucking cool, dude.
And then later on, he became the Commandant of the Marine Corps.
Oh, wow. Huh. That's fucking cool. That's definitely interesting. All right, so I'm gonna transcribe just so I can keep track of things. So if you heard a little beep, it's just transcribing. It's a new feature I just found out earlier because you're actually the second Marine today that I've interviewed.
Good. So you're warmed up.
Yes, sir. I'm a little bit discombobulated because of that fucking run, but we'll get through it. We'll definitely get through it, man. All right, who was Gunnery Sergeant Moon before the Marine Corps?
Man, before the Marine Corps, kid born in Houston, Texas, at a young age, grew up in Cali. Parents were blue collar workers. Just doing my thing, going to school, going to high school, playing some sports, staying out of trouble. Always knew at a young age that I actually wanted to go into law enforcement, right? I just didn't know the path. However, if you'd asked me, hey, Moon, are you going to think about going to the military to help you get there? I would have told you, fuck no, man. That wasn't even an option. And my dad being prior Army, I was like, and my dad, like I'm sure many dads out there that are veterans, especially right around the Vietnam era, which my dad served in, he the house with a heavy fist. So I knew like military was not for me. I knew that at a young age. So graduated high school, I go to college. When I'm going to college, Texas A&M University, and then my whole life endeavor before the Marine Corps was to actually get my degree and then go into federal law enforcement, right? Because my focus was in law enforcement. Graduate, get my degree, come back home. Or actually, before I graduate, do an internship with a federal agency. It's got an acronym, which I won't say, but did an internship then in my junior year got really disenchanted because they're like, hey, you're going to be working document crime, son. And I'm like, what? And at the time, when I was going to school, there were movies out like Silence of the Lambs. So I thought I was really intrigued upon that. And I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Silence of the Lambs type stuff, right? Well, lo and behold, I figured out, well, that's just the movies. That's not reality. So after graduation, I said, forget this. I don't want to do that. And then moved back home, 22 years old, about 22 years old. And I'm like, hey, I need to do something. Maybe I'll go into local law enforcement. And as I start to process and start to take tests, I had this recruiter that said, hey, you've gone through everything. You passed all the tests. We want to offer you a conditional hire, but we want you to tell us, what have you done to prepare yourself for this job to go into local. This was a local agency in California.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the biggest agencies in California in the central LA area. So I said, I've been a good kid, kept my nose clean, went to college, got a degree. I've always been involved in law enforcement. I was an explorer growing up. This is my thing. I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. So then he asks me again, all right, that sounds good, but let me ask you again. What have you done to prepare yourself? And I'm like, dude, I just told you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a sergeant, and he's just asking me. And he's like, I'm going to be honest with you. We're hiring kids your age. And he's calling me a kid. I'm 22 years old. And he's like, guys are getting fired because you guys don't have the maturity level
Mm-hmm.
for these streets. I'm like, talking about, now I'm coming straight from college, been drinking a lot, fraternity, been doing stupid stuff. He was right, but I wasn't realizing that. So he says, okay, I hear you. I'm going to give you the conditional letter of hire. He goes, you could start the academy on this date, which was about 3 months away. We'll offer you the job, but I really want you to think about this. So I take the paper and he says, I don't want you to sign it today. He goes, I want you to take the weekend to think about it. Take it home, go home, talk it over with your family. because I wasn't married. I didn't have any kids. I had nothing. I was still living with my parents. So I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I take the paper. I go into the restroom before I leave, before I drive out. And I remember going into the restroom and I'm in the stall. I'm taking a piss. And then I hear the door open behind me, and then it's him, and he's in the stall right next to me. And he says, "Hey, son," he goes, "I didn't mean to piss you off, but I know I pissed you off." I was like, "No, sir." I go, I understand, where you come from. He goes, "I just don't want you to make a mistake." Then he says to me, out of the blue, he goes, "What's 4 years out of your life? Spent 4 years in college. What's 4 years serving your country? Getting the maturity, getting some more skills, be more viable, be more marketable." He goes, "This job will be waiting for you." So, what's this guy telling me? Military? I haven't even thought about that. It's like
Uh-huh.
crazy. So I leave, go home, tell my parents, "Hey, I got a conditional letter of hire. I'm supposed to start the academy in 3 months. They didn't want me to sign the paper. Let me go back on Monday with the paper signed." So long story short, that night, it was a Friday. I remember thinking about it hard, and I said to myself, what is 4 more years? So I fell asleep, woke up determined as fuck, grabbed my degree, high school diploma, because I didn't know what to bring, my birth certificate, my social security card, my driver's license, and I walked right into a recruiter's office, a Marine Corps recruiter, because I knew if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. Not going to half-ass this. This is 4 years of my life. This is all I'm going to do in life. Fuck this. I'm going for it. So I walked straight into a recruiter. I'm like a recruiter's wet dream. Never been in trouble with the law. Have a college degree. Blah, blah. Go in there and I said, "Hey, I want to enlist. You need to go to OCS. You have a degree." And I'm like, "No, I'm only doing 4 years. I'm getting the fuck out and I'm going to be a police officer somewhere." "Oh, you're making the wrong decision." This was a staff sergeant telling me this. He's like, "No, you're making the wrong decision. I'm going to have you talk to the master guns because OCS is the way for you to go," and this and that. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Just says not. I'm just in and out. What's 4 years in and out? Well, anyways, long story short, I wound up fucking enlisting. They were pissed off at me, the recruiters. Took my ASVAB, scored really well. They're like, "What do you want to do?" And I was thinking, okay, I want to do infantry. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't. Kind of caught in the middle. Maybe I should get a skill that I can utilize when I get out. Even though you can, right? For law enforcement, you can still utilize infantry. It's still a viable, awesome MOS.
Right.
And then I picked the 01, and I'm like, fuck it. And he just looked at me, just dumbfounded. Like all the recruiters in there, like, it's like, "You're an idiot. You could become an officer. You can go to OCS. This is really going to benefit you, but you could augment from six to 8 years and blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "No, this isn't what I want to do. I just want to do 4 years and I'm out."
Damn.
So yeah, so that was like my journey. I grew up with a really good family, a good dad, a great dad who was always in my life, and a great mom who was always in my life. My dad, like I said, was hard, former Army, Vietnam era. At the end of the day, I chose the Marine Corps, which ultimately benefited the rest of my life. So that's a little gist on the type of person I was prior to.
What made you pick the Marine Corps?
Because if I'm going to join any branch, it's going to be the hardest, the toughest, and I don't want to do it half-ass. Prior to me, there were no Marines in my family.
Everyone was Army?
Yeah, everybody was Army and Air Force.
Okay.
And I knew, there's a reason why they're the few and the proud, right?
Damn right.
So I knew I wanted a challenge, and I knew I wanted to carry that title above my name for the rest of my life, and to show the rest of my family members who did serve that, hey, I'm the Marine.
You're the standout.
Yeah.
What did you do to, okay, so you were 22, right, when you enlisted? Okay. What was the experience leading up to when you reported on the footsteps? Like, did you attend any kind of pulley programs or?
Yeah, I went to a number of pulley programs, and once again, I was the oldest in the recruiting station that I got recruited out of out in Cali. Everybody was like 18, 17, 18, 19 years old. You know, I was the only one that had a degree. I was the only one that apparently made the worst decision not to go officer. But I really tried to dedicate myself and push myself academically and physically in every aspect. I know when I was in the pulley program, I really wanted to like excel a lot faster than because I knew I was coming into the game at 22 years old as enlisted, and I knew that I would by the time I hit the fleet, you know, I'm looking at 23 ish, right? And I knew there'd be PFCs or lance corporals or even corporals that were younger than me, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I already knew I was behind the curve, so I wanted to like push myself, excel, try to get as much rank and as much experience as I could prior to leaving for boot camp.
You recruited Marine recruits too, and just to try to get to that meritorious PFC.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was able to get that just because of my degree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
because you had college credits, right? And back when I went in, if you had like X amount of college credits, they automatically gave that to you.
Oh, wow.
So I already had my degree, so it benefited me.
Oh, wow. Shit, it was really benefiting you right there. Shit. So you did the pulley program. MEPS. Did you have anything that stood out during your MEPS experience?
Man, MEPS sucked. It's like hurry up and wait. That's when I really figured out the military,
Yeah.
right? It was like hurry up and wait. I mean, I couldn't wait to get the fuck out of that place, man. And then walking like a duck in my fucking skivvies, like who the fuck does that? You know, what kind of bullshit, barbaric kind of shit is this?
I totally forgot about the duck walk till you just said it.
Yeah, you know. And then I remember, just like I'm sure a lot of people did, that old ass doctor that was like he'd probably retired from private practice 30 years prior, and this guy was old and crusty. And I remember him looking at me. He's like, "I need you to bend over and spread your cheeks." I'm like, "What? What kind of shit's going on?" So this was my hard introduction into basically you're on their dime,
Yeah.
right? You're in their world. So, and once you sign your name on that dotted line, you're basically giving up a lot of freedom, so to speak. I just remember that MEPS. It was an eye opener. It's like, holy shit, is this how it's gonna be?
Oh, man. Yep. A lot of fucking hurry up and wait, like you said, and a lot of BS games, and some of it makes sense years later. Some of it still doesn't make sense.
No, not at all. And my dad laughed at me when I told him that. But like I think my parents got really upset with me once I said I enlisted because number one, I enlisted, right? I didn't go officer. But number two, they were like, we spent all this fucking money on a 4-year education, out of state tuition, and you decide to go into the military now where it could have been free. You should have thought of that before, and then they would have paid for it the entire time. You know? So live and learn. You know, I was young, dumb.
Hey, you did things backwards, but shit, it still worked out for you.
Yeah, it did. It did. I went the long way around, I guess you could say.
Yeah, which is all right. I mean, shit, it still got you to where you need to be. Okay, so we went through the MEPS experience. What were your thoughts? You're a different breed because you're our first career Marine that we're talking to, like ever. I think we had a medically retired Marine that did 12 years. We never had a full-on career Marine. Did his time, and you know, yeah, this is a different beast. I'm like, shit, we have a whole lot of time to cover.
Yeah, no, like I said, I only when I went to the recruiter, I said 4 and out.
Yeah.
Done.
Uh-huh.
Like that's it. Like I'm gonna use, I'm sure other people, you know, I'm just gonna say it out loud. I was gonna use the government for my 4 years, right? You utilize them for that title, that training, that experience, that maturity, that leadership, all the stuff. I was just going to absorb it all and then transfer that into the civilian sector of my law enforcement career. But Lord turned it into money.
And that was a very mature way to approach it. I don't even think there would have been a lot of 22-year-olds at the time to even see it in that perspective, dude. So you were freaking light years ahead of a lot of other people.
Maybe so, but for all the recruiters, they're like, you're a fucking idiot. You need to be an 03.
So tell us about the ride over to MCRD. You took the bus, right?
Yeah, we took the bus from I think it was the LA MEPS.
Did you stay at the Bonaventure?
I sure did, man.
I work right by the Bonaventure now. It's a
do you?
It's a trip. Like I see, I go, fuck, man. It's just a trip that I stayed there, before I was supposed to go out to boot camp.
Is it still look the same?
It does. I've gotten in there for like happy hours stuff and retirement parties for coworkers. Still looks the same. I walk in and I feel like I'm 18. Like, fuck, this place is huge.
Yeah.
And it's a giant maze.
I remember staying in that hotel, like, this is it. No turning back now. And then I wound up getting a room by myself.
Oh, really?
They didn't room me with anybody. So it was even worse.
You were alone with your thoughts.
Yeah. And I met a good buddy. I met this kid. Well, we're all kids back then, but I mean, he wasn't an adult. He was 18 years old, Barrow, and he was from Long Beach. Was it Long Beach Poly? Spoke real broken English, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nicest fucking guy, man. And I just remember, and I lost track of him years ago, and I wish I could find him today. 18 years old, and he met him in MEPS the next day. We didn't, like I said, we didn't stay in the same room. I met him at the MEPS, and yo, Moon, I gotta do this because I don't want to be a landscaper like my dad. Because I want to have something else. I want to do something else. My parents, they're not really well off, so it's manual labor, doing landscaping with my dad all my life, or do something to really affect my future for the better. And so I was like kind of taken back, because I had these privileges, right? And I was 22. I had these privileges, being able to go to college, this and that and everything. And here, Navarro was just like working. Like, he'd go to school, start landscaping after school. Weekends weren't off. No, he was landscaping all weekend with his dad. And he really actually, it was like a humbling experience. I said to myself, this is going to be great. Because remember, I had come from even a university where a lot of kids were spoiled. A lot of kids had the means. They were going to go off and have these great grand adios jobs in private sector, and it was nice trying to meet a lot of genuine people. And I think what happened with Navarro was he started my journey to and the reality of what Marines truly are, coming from humble beginnings and wanting to be better than they were from the day that they actually stepped on that depot. And I tell you what, to this day, I've never worked and met and been around better men in my entire life than the ones I met in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, it's a life changer in so many different ways. It definitely is. Do you mind sharing like the kind of thoughts that were going through your head since you were in that room by yourself? Like, what was going through your head? Like, knowing how you are, at least, for what I've known for the past, 2+ decades, I'm sure there wasn't doubt that was going through your head, right?
Oh, there was, man.
There was. Wow.
There was. There's doubt. Number one, I had big shoes to fill. My dad was like former Army, Vietnam era. My dad's hardcore, tough guy. He's a tough man. A lot of times sitting in that room, I thought to myself, can I raise the bar, or can I get up to his level? This isn't going to be easy, right? Will I be able to obtain the success my father was able to? Yeah, there was some stress. I was also in a relationship at the time, and so my girlfriend, who's my ex-wife now, there was some stress because I was trying to do it for us, right? Going to college, and then going to the Marine Corps are two different animals. Going to college, you're in a controlled environment. The only stress is on you to get good grades and pass your classes, right? Nobody's yelling, screaming, getting in your face, basically tearing you apart. As we know, going to the Marine Corps is a whole nother fucking animal. So I knew I could accomplish one, which was the college aspect. I did not know if I was able to accomplish the Marine. So I was stressed out about that. However, once again, growing up with Pops, he was hardcore individual, right? So yeah, there was some doubt. It definitely wasn't smooth sailing at all.
So you get on that bus. You get down to the depot. Does the bus driver like pause before they go into the depot? Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah. He stopped, slowed down. He stopped, slowed down. I remember like, it's about to get real. I remember him saying,
"Shit,
hold on." They said, I remember him saying like, "Hold on to your seats because it's about to get real."
Fuck.
And then we're all looking around. We all got that, our eyes are fucking wide open. Starting to sweat, elevated heart rate. I mean, you're feeling everything physiologically. It's like, oh shit, what I do? Can I get off this bus and run?
Yeah.
There's so many things going through my mind and so many things going through. I remember Navarro was sitting next to me and we're just kind of looking at each other like, what? And he's looking at me like, bro, you're 22 years old. You got any words of advice? I'm looking at him like, bro, you're 18 years old. Do you have any words of advice?
Oh my God.
So yeah, I was stressed, to say the least.
So then the bus crosses the gates in MCRD. The drill instructor enters the bus.
I remember it was at night, right? It was already, the sun had already gone down, and because we stopped at Denny's on the way. I don't know if you did.
Yeah, in San Clemente. Yeah.
Yeah, at the Denny's.
Yeah.
So we stopped at there, ate, and then we're like, oh shit, we want to get there. So that food that I ate Denny's was, oh man, it was about to come up.
Oh fuck.
Go out. It was either direction, north to south. I remember getting in that bus, and then I see the drill instructors were pulling in front of, I guess, the reception center, and then I see the drill instructors just waiting. And man, they're looking tight. They got their campaign covers on. They got their their hands on their waists. They're just waiting, and they look intimidating, as fuck. And I'm like, oh shit, here it goes. I remember the bus stopping. I remember those doors opening, and then the instructor comes on, and he's just barking. Rah, rah, rah. I'm just trying to process things. Fucking no turning back now, right?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, Marine Corps Depot. Fuck. Rah, 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 rah. You say first word out of your mouth, sir. Last word out of your mouth, sir. I'm just fucking everything, blah, blah, blah. And when I tell you to move, you're going to get off this bus. You're going to stand outside, stand on the yellow footprints, toilet 45, feet at 45, all the stuff like that. When it was move, they snapped their finger and move, it was fucking like move. It was on. And I just remember my ass puckering, tight as fuck, eyeballs still wide as hell. I'm trying to blend in, right? I'm trying to be like that chameleon. Like, yeah. I don't want to be the heat shield, but I don't want to be the dumbass. I kind of want to be in the middle somewhere. And that didn't last long. And I remember that was what did it, 48 hours or something like that first day. And I just remember being on adrenaline. Fuck, this is kind of familiar because I grew up with a dad that would yell this, at me all the time. I was like, okay, maybe this isn't too bad. Maybe this is almost like a homecoming, just maybe worse. But at the same time, I kind of understand where they're coming from.
So all right, so then you step on those yellow footprints. What was the boot camp experience like? If I'm not mistaken, your boot camp date is November 5th, 1996.
Yes, November 5th, 1996.
Do you know why I remember that?
No.
Because I went at November 4th, 1996.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So that's why I remember.
Yeah.
So you went in, you picked a fine time to go in. You were going to be in boot camp for all the good holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's,
And Marine Corps birthday.
and Marine Corps birthday. Yes, of course, a Marine Corps birthday. So you did. So you were. So we were in the boot camp about the same time. So what was the boot camp experience like for you?
First couple weeks was rough. Obviously, learning a lot of learning curves going on, right? A lot of stress inoculation, dealing with that. Physical fitness wasn't really a challenge because I had already been working out and pushing myself. Obviously, the obstacles and stuff like that were because I'd never done those before. That was it as far as the initial boot camp experience. Once again, when I was in, due to my age, and I guess they looked at my record, my information, they were like, "Hey, we're going to make you a squad leader." That's where the stress really hit because I'd never been in charge of anybody but myself. So this is where like Marine Corps leadership, is like 101. It's like, hey, you need to fucking learn it. It ain't about you anymore. It's about us. You have a squad of X amount of recruits. You're going to need to deal with it, right? And you're going to need to basically help to kind of leader them in some way, right? So that was probably the hardest part for me because you go from that I mentality to we.
Right.
So that was probably the hardest task for me throughout boot camp.
And it's more magnified for the guides and for the squad leaders because you're just not watching out for yourself. You're watching out for, the rest.
And your squad's only as good as your weakest link, correct?
Yeah.
So you really, and everybody, they always put in your squad like a
shitbird.
Yes. I was trying to think of another word, but yes, shitbird. And so, you got some hot shots in there, and then you got these one or two shitbirds, and it's like, oh man. So then you're staying up late at night. You're studying knowledge with them. Back then, man. We didn't have the luxury of these fucking desert boots that you scuff clean. We had Cadillacs and we had Jungles, right?
Yep.
So we had to make good shine on those. Our camis had to be, spot on nice. Hygiene, everything. So it was like you're a parent.
Yeah.
Bruce, right?
Yeah.
And we all came from different backgrounds. So I remember having some people from fucking Oklahoma and shit, like these big corn-fed motherfuckers, and they were younger than me. And I'm trying to, hey man, hey dog, this is what we gotta do. How we gotta do it. And then it's like kind of like fight the power.
Right.
And I don't know about you. I don't know about like in your platoon, but I remember having two guys in my platoon that it was either go to jail or go to the Marines.
Oh shit. Okay.
I had two. Yeah. And then guess what? They were both in my squad. So then I'm trying to talk to them, but they think they're like hardened fucking dogs already.
Right.
I'm like, nah, dude, we're all the same here. And then as boot camp went on, I remember I went from squad leader to guide, and then fucking only lasted that guide for I think 10 days. He got fired. And then got moved in general population, back in the general population, then back up to squad leader. So it was just,
you were all over the place.
Yeah, it was a rigmarole of fucking, of hats.
How did that feel? Just going from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows to somewhere to almost to the high, but you're just bouncing all over. How did you feel?
It was humbling. And I think that's exactly what the Marine Corps tries to do. It tries to raise you up, break you down, then raise you up, make you strong. And it did. And it really made me persevere. It made me want to actually push harder because of that, because of the failures. I used to look at failures before, and I think that's another great thing. I looked at failures before as what it was fuck, I'm not good enough. But now I look at failures as opportunities. Like, what did I learn from that opportunity? And not to get too far ahead, but as we know, my daughter's in the Marine Corps now, right?
Yeah.
And when she went to boot camp, she told, she says, Dad, I want to make you proud. And I'm like, you made me proud all your life, but she's like, I want to do the best. And I was like, don't worry about doing the best, doing what you can control. Try your best, give it 110% each and every day. But understand this, at the end of the day, however you graduate, I'm still going to be proud of you. So she says, no, I want to go above and beyond. She says, how do I get there? So based off all of my experiences that I went in the Marine Corps and all my trials and tribulations that I had in the Marine Corps, I divulged all that information to her. And so when she went to boot camp, she graduated as the honor recruit, and she graduates as a lance corporal out of boot camp. So in some ways, yes, I kind of failed in my accolades in boot camp, but excelled being able to teach my daughter what it is to be successful.
And your failures were her success? Or her successes? Yeah, wow. Yeah, oh my God. Fucking gave me the chills, man. All right, so you go through boot camp, your guide, squad leader, guide, GP, back to squad leader again. So you were there during the Crucible. Crucible, I just found out this morning talking to Corporal Henry Rodriguez that he went in 2 months before we did. So he was 2 platoons away before them implementing the Crucible.
Yeah, because we were the second class ever to go through the Crucible.
So how was the Crucible like for you?
Once again, it was a challenge, humbling challenge. At the time going through the Crucible, I was a guy. I was a squad leader. So once again, working on those leadership abilities, trying to get all of us on task, not to be pissed off and screaming, yelling at each other, losing our bearing. Well, itself, I wanted it bad because we were told by our drill instructors and our senior drill instructors that you're the second class ever to go through it. So we're thinking, oh, this is this badass hardcore test, right? Like this is breaking people, like Marine, like people aren't making it and they're getting kicked out. So we had this big daunting task behind us, and we're thinking, fuck, this is the challenge of challenges.
Yeah.
This is like buds to fucking Navy SEALs, right? So we didn't know. When I went through it, I was focused. I was like fucking lock, cock, and ready to rock. And I just wanted to see the best, not only for myself, but mainly for my guys and my squad. So it was once again, it was another humbling experience. It brought me back down, but it just lifted me up above and beyond anywhere I thought I would be able to go. Like once we finished the Crucible, I thought I could fucking walk on the moon. So yeah, that's pretty much, that was my mindset.
So you guys finish up the Crucible, and you end up going up the Reaper. You get your Black Eagle Globe and Anchor presented to you. What's going through your head?
Just the sense of pride that I've never felt before in my entire life. I thought a lot of my dad being a Vietnam era and the things he went through, right? The challenges he actually overcame with loss of other brothers. And so I said to myself, you know what? I'm not in any form in the same realm as my dad would ever been through, but I got to push through this. So going up that Reaper, I was thinking of my dad. And getting that Eagle Globe and Anchor, I cried like a bitch. I ain't gonna lie. I put my hand out, got my Eagle Globe and Anchor, got my congratulations, fucking looked down at it. I must have stared at it for like 5 straight minutes. Like, fuck, this is it. This is reality. And being so happy that I could be there, and then just thinking of my pops the entire time and everything, all the sacrifices. I did this for him.
I think it's one of our biggest challenges we face, especially as men. We're always trying to, I guess it's trying to keep our fathers happy. To say, you know what, I want them to look at me in a different way.
Absolutely. Wanted to validate my existence with my dad. Being the only boy, being the youngest out of all the kids, I just always thought that my dad never looked positively on me. I thought like I wasn't growing up to be the man or the son he wanted. And that wasn't the truth. What it was my dad was trying to make me a man at a young age, right?
Yeah.
And like my wife today will say, I think sometimes you were born without a front lobe, because I just say, like, if my son or my daughter's messing up, I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, get it in gear.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, what is wrong? Like, pull up your pants, figure it out, and let's push on. You can't change the past, so let's affect our future. And so a lot of times my wife will say I'm kind of harsh, but she understands the reality behind what I say. So I think with that being said, I just always I always said to myself, I just want to be half the man my dad is. And I think I've accomplished a lot.
You definitely have. Your platoon goes back to Camp Pendleton. You guys have a graduation pass and review. What's going through your head when you're crossing and you're doing eyes right, and you know that you can probably look at your parents if you want to, but you're looking that direction, but you're kind of not at the same time.
Well, I'm thinking, number one, I'm a badass. I'm about 35 pounds skinnier, right? And I'm thinking I'm looking sharp, right, in my uniform, and I'm a badass. Not to mention my girlfriend at the time was there, but I'm thinking, fuck, I accomplished something huge, and I know my dad's in the stand to watch it. I was just elated with just happiness and joy, and at the same time, I was happy to get the fuck out of there, right, just like anybody else.
Yeah.
And then just to say, I'm a Marine, I claim that title. Right. And very, very, just like, I said before, there's few of us, and there's a reason why there's only a few of us, because a lot of people don't want to make that sacrifice. They want to take the easy way, go to the Air Force.
Go ride a bike for your PFT.
Exactly.
So you graduate, you go home for 10 days. Do you go on any kind of recruiter's assistance?
Yeah, I wound up going on Rec Aid for about maybe 30 days.
Me too.
Yeah. Back at the RSS, did Rec Aid for about 30 days prior to MCT. It was a nice time home, Didn't get as much PT as I should have, but did what I had to do, and then got ready to report to MCT.
How was MCT like? How was that experience?
Fuck, man. I've never not wanted to be an O3 before in my entire life. It was fun. So my instructor during MCT which was fucking awesome. He was actually a sergeant who was, forget what his name is. It's gonna come to me. But he was actually a sergeant who rescued O'Grady, the Air Force pilot who went down in Kosovo.
Really?
Yeah, who they made that movie with Harrison Ford Behind Enemy Lines. My MCT instructor, he was one of the guys that was there, and he was telling us all about it. Fucking awesome. I was like, oh shit. And I was like super motivated then. At first, I was dreading going there, and I was like, oh shit, I got a real life badass, teaching me, So yeah, I went to MCT, just like everybody else, did nav and all that stuff. They let us in. I remember at one night we did a night navigation, land nav, here by compass, and we went right into a baby snake fucking farm. And I just remember, and the grass was tall, like 5'6" feet tall, and we were walking through it, right, because we're following the compass. And I remember with my battle buddy, we hear, fuck was that? And then we'd see the grass like moving.
Oh my God.
Like a couple feet away from us.
Yeah. And
then we go to our left, and then we see the grass on the left, and we was like, what the fuck? So we just started running, man. I don't even think we passed that. I don't think we didn't even stay on the compass course. We got the fuck out of there.
I don't blame you. Fuck.
And then I remember that night setting up camp, and like 15, 20 feet from one of those fucking rattlesnakes. Baby rattlesnakes were at. And then they were telling us, yeah, baby rattlesnakes are like the worst because they blow all their wad in one shot. I'm like, then what the fuck are we doing out here, sleeping out here?
I bet you probably didn't get that much sleep during that time, dude.
Not at all.
Fuck. I remember doing lad nav, but during the day, and a rattler fucking bit my boot.
Shit.
I instinctively fucking grabbed that motherfucker and I threw him. But I'm like, what else was I supposed to fucking do? I wasn't gonna fucking run. He was gonna fucking hang on to the fucking boot.
Dude, tell me about it, man. It was a sobering experience. I was like, what are we fucking doing out here?
Yeah.
And then it rained, and then we had to put up, our shelter halves, right? And shelter halves don't have any bottoms on them, right?
Right.
And so I was like, what kind of this?
I think the shelter houses, they didn't have any point to them, dude. I mean, they really didn't, because the ground's going to get wet anyway. You were going to get soaked no matter what.
Remember they had us build a. I don't know if you were doing it during the rain, but then they had us build like a little fucking with our e-tool burrow out a little drainage ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
that was about worthless.
Yeah. Yeah. I went during the rain too, and it was, oh, fuck. I remember sliding down the hills because one of the fucking platoon sergeants thought it was going to be fun. And it was kind of like it was like a fucking, like a water slide, but just in the fucking mud. I was like, dude, what the fuck? I mean, it was cool, but it's like, this could be kind of dangerous. So you're done with MCT, or so you go through MCT. Was there anything that stood out during your time there, other than the baby rattlers?
No. Just meeting a bunch of good guys, like I said, from all over the country, with a bunch of diverse backgrounds, and that's the thing I love the most. Was like, you don't really get that in life. I mean, even with my current profession, get that in life, like some humble beginnings, like some people that come from nothing, or some Marines that come from a Marine lineage, right? The legacy,
Right.
right? They're like fourth, fifth, sixth generation Marines. Just to hear that, it's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, that was probably some of the things that stood out.
So you're done with MCT, and you find out, you get your orders. You're gonna be an O1, right?
Oh,
Where do they ship you off to?
Camp Johnson,
Camp Johnson, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
North Kakalaki.
North Kakalaki. What was your PA school experience like?
Fuck, dude. Like I thought this was the area that God forgot. I like this was the armpit of the fucking US, I thought. And the only reason was because, NASCAR's church out there, goddamn pine trees, bro. I was like, I don't know where north, south, east, and west was. And then when I saw plumbing on base that was above ground and was going like over your head,
Yeah.
like across the streets,
Yeah.
what's this all about? Oh, it can't be underground because they'll freeze. I was like, they'll freeze? How cold does it get here? Fuck, I learned. And I've never been as cold in my life to where like it went down to my bone as when I was stationed in North Carolina.
Yeah, I heard it would get pretty cold out there.
Yes. It fucking sucked. And then, I never knew what a water moccasin was until I was stationed in North Carolina. Going on a run.
Why don't you remind us of what a water moccasin is?
A water moccasin is a fucking venomous snake, I want to say, that hovers over the water.
That's right.
Yeah, like Jesus. No, but that's a bad analogy. But I mean, it just slithers over water. I remember going into a PT run with our platoon during school. Went out for a run, and there was this almost like a ditch. I guess Humvees had made it like burrowed a ditch, and it was about maybe 2-ish feet deep, and it was mud water. And I remember staff NCOs was like, all right, you guys are going to run through this. Like they put us in the water, in the mud. And I'm like, okay, why can't we run around it? But okay, we'll run through it, because we're Marines. And then all of a sudden I hear a staff NCO, get the fuck out of the water, get the water. It's a water moccasin, get the water. I'm like, what? Water moccasin? I'm thinking, being from Cali, I'm thinking that was like a fucking chancla. Like,
That's what I was thinking too.
somebody lost some fucking chancla in the water? No, fucker, get the fuck, there's a snake. And then I look over in front of me, probably about maybe 30 feet in front of me, there's this fucking thing just slithering, like side to side. Like, holy shit. And guys are getting out, and everybody's like running to the dry land. And And they're like, yeah, it's a water moccasin. I was like, what the fuck is a water moccasin? Then they told us all about it. Yeah, that was one of the points that stood out to me.
Did anything else stand out during that time in North Kakalaki?
Man, uh, that was the first time I was around females in the Marine Corps.
Right.
And wow, there's
Yeah.
interesting things were happening there, So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was an eye opener all around, from the terrain just to the environment. Rooms off base. I was like, what's this all about? Then everybody's drinking, and partying and stuff like that. But yeah, it was definitely not one of my favorite places to be.
You were just and when you got there, did you get stuck with Map Platoon or did you immediately start school?
No, I got stuff at Map Platoon for about, I want to say, like 3 weeks.
Oh shit.
I just remember the rooms, the fucking barracks being like freezing. They were like squad bays.
Yeah. No insulation.
No insulation. Then they gave you one green blanket and a fucking sheet. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Fucking sleep in your camis.
Yeah, sleep in your camis, sleep in your fucking cold weather gear.
So you're happy to get out of North Carolina, and all right. So
I was, especially being a West Coast kid.
how was actual PA school, like the actual environment in the classroom?
I thought it was good. Everybody pretty much like teamed up. There wasn't like animosity. There was obviously a little bit of not challenge, but there was a little guys were going at it to try to get the highest score because they knew if at the end of the school that if you had like the highest scores, you got to pick first station where you wanted to go.
So the competitiveness was at a high.
Yeah, it was really high. So and it wasn't hard for me because the school in itself, because I'd come straight from college, so I knew how to study. Right. I knew what my strength and my weaknesses were. So that wasn't the issue for me. What was hard was, once again, being in a platoon and being a leader and trying to help the other guys. I mean, not fail tests, be prepared for the test. So once again, I got in a role where I wasn't worried about myself. I was worried about my guys, which once again, it was sharp.
You were put in a leadership position at PA school as well.
Yeah, and I wanted to be the platoon leader for our platoon, but they gave it to some former Army guy. He was an Army sergeant. Fucking funny, dude. He had jump wings. He had lead sleds, and he was at our fucking PA school.
What the fuck?
And he was a lance corporal. And me being a PFC at the time, he was a lance corporal with lead sleds. And he was former Army. He was a sergeant in the Army, and he wanted to be a Marine. So he got out, had to go through fucking boot camp, had to go through the whole fucking shebang, lost all his rank. And in PA school, they made him the platoon leader. The platoon sergeant, but the platoon leader, yeah.
Did you guys butt heads?
We did, like I did with him. And he was about my age. We were about the same age. But I'm the PFC, and then he's prior service. He's rocking his lead sled, so he thinks he's fucking cool. We butt heads, but eventually we just kind of hashed it out and there things.
So you're done with PA school. How'd you graduate overall? Top of the class, mid?
So I graduated number 2.
Wow.
1 and 1, but I graduated 2. But it was good because the guy that got number 1, he wanted to go overseas bad, so I knew I didn't want to. So he was like, "Bro, I'm picking Okinawa. Okinawa or Iwakuni." It's like, "All right, dude.
Have at it."
Yeah, I just knew I wanted to go back to 1st Marine Division. I knew I wanted to be attached to an infantry unit.
Okay.
And what I didn't know, it kind of shot me in the ass, is there was a SHRIG. There was a SHRIG opening, and I didn't know what SHRIG was. First SHRIG was Surveillance Reconnaissance Intelligence Group.
Oh.
And they were attached to Anglico. They were in the same area as Anglico. And so I didn't know, man. And one of those guys knew. And kick number 4 He's like, I'll take the Shrig. I'm like, what the fuck is that? That sounds. And then they said what it is, and then I remember the instructors going, "Oh, you can do some badass shit over there. You're probably gonna go to jump school. You're probably gonna." I was like, "What? What? How come nobody told me this shit?" No.
So you missed out on that opportunity to go out to first rig.
Yeah, oh man, I was so bummed. I was trying to tell him, I think his name was De Leon. I said, De Leon, let me get that from you. He goes, no, fuck that. I don't give you shit. You go to 5th Marines. I was like, how dare you?
So you graduated from PA school. Your duty station is going to be
5th Marines headquarters.
You head down to headquarters company, 5th Marines. You said 5th Marines, right?
5th Marines.
Okay. My hearing is like, it's going shot. I'm like, shit, I know you didn't say 1st Marines. All right, so so you head over to 5th Marines. What's it like, man?
So I get in, brand new, right? PFC, about to pick up Lance Corporal. It was eye-opening, right? You're finally in the fleet, right?
Yeah.
And you're automatically day one getting tested, right? By Lance Corporals.
Yeah.
They know you're a boot. They know you're green. You're fresh. And I remember checking in, and I remember the corporal and the staff sergeant at the time fucking just tearing me apart. I'm like, are you serious? This is how my first day is going to be? And I just remember them tearing me apart. Now, I totally understand the staff sergeant, staff NCO going at me. Totally see it, right? Totally. But the corporal, I was looking at him like, bro, you look like a bag of shit, and you're fucking on me.
Was that a...
Yep.
That motherfucker, I hated him.
So did I.
Oh, I couldn't his face, he had a punchable fucking face,
yes.
Dude. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. He had a face of a bulldog.
Yeah. Oh, fucking... I want to fucking... Oh, God. Just looking at him, just thinking about it. I haven't thought about that shit in over 20 years, and I just think about him, just fucking getting pissed off. I'm probably just going to bleep the name out.
Yeah, that was him. So, checking in, and then, I was ready to play the game. I was just happy to be home, right?
Yeah.
So ready to play the game, happy to be home, and checked in. They're like, "Hey, Devil Dog, this is gonna be a rack mate. You guys gonna be shacking up together." And I'm like, "All right, okay, cool." And then I look at him, I'm like, "Holy shit!" And I swear to God, this Marine, he looked like he got his fucking camis out of the bottom of a sea bag that was wet, and he was just sloppy, man. Like, I was like, is this what the Marine Corps is all about? And he was a Lance Corporal at the time, right? And I'm like, oh my God, is this what I have to look forward to? Like, he doesn't look like he could run from here to there without passing the fuck out. And I'm like, what is going on here? What were all those stories they were telling me, right? And then I wind up moving in, and it was him and I. We were the only two in that room at the time. And it was eye-opening to live with that Marine.
That individual.
Yeah, that was a special individual.
That's right, dog.
That's right, dog. Yeah.
Gunny Moon's journey is far from over. His story continues in episode 25. Until then, stay sharp, stay grounded, and as always, thank you for listening to the Chat 62 podcast. Semper Fi.
Brothers and sisters at arms, are you struggling with your mental health? You are not alone. There is help available. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is there for you. Call or text 988 to connect with a trained crisis counselor 24/7. Do not hesitate to reach out for support. You are strong. You are loved. Semper Fi.